Have you ever had one of those days when just one word, one look, one tiny change in someone's tone shattered your whole mood? Like your heart suddenly dropped. Your mind started replaying the moment over and over. Did I do something wrong? Did they stop caring? Am I just too sensitive? If that sounds like you, you're not alone. In fact, you might be one of the quiet warriors of this world. Those who feel everything more deeply, who notice every shift in energy, who love harder and hurt faster. But here's the truth. Being sensitive isn't a flaw. It's a message, a silent signal from your mind and body, saying, please listen. There's a wound here that needs healing. Let's be real for a second. People who are emotionally sensitive often carry the biggest hearts. They feel deeply. They understand deeply. And unfortunately, they also get hurt deeply. Being overly sensitive doesn't mean you're weak. It means your nervous system is wired to detect subtle emotional shifts. And that wiring often comes from early life experiences. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was 30, warm-hearted, and thoughtful. But every time someone spoke to her with a cold tone, she'd spend hours overthinking. What did I do? Did I say something wrong? By night, she'd replay the whole day in her head, trying to find the mistake she never actually made. When she finally saw a therapist, she learned that her sensitivity wasn't random. It was rooted in childhood emotional neglect. As a child, she felt loved only when she was good. So her brain learned, if I upset someone, I'll lose their love. And that fear, that quiet, invisible fear, followed her into adulthood. Here's the science. In your brain, there's a tiny almond-shaped part called the amygdala. It's basically your emotional alarm system. For highly sensitive people, that alarm goes off way too easily. What's just a neutral comment for someone else feels like rejection to you. And the reason often lies in your childhood. If you grew up around constant criticism, or if love felt conditional, your brain literally learned that acceptance equals safety. That means every tone, every glance, every silence gets scanned as a possible threat. Each emotional experience you had built new neural pathways, and if those experiences were filled with anxiety and fear of being disliked, your mind got stuck in a loop. Be perfect, or you'll lose connection. That's why even today, when someone sighs or doesn't text back, your body reacts before your logic does. Your chest tightens, your heart races, and your mind whispers, something's wrong. But nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is just doing its job. A little too well. Let's talk about relationships, where sensitivity can feel like walking on glass. When you're sensitive, love feels like both heaven and hell. You crave connection more than anything, but the fear of losing it can make you anxious, defensive, or even distant. A text that comes 2 hours late can spiral into a storm of thoughts. Are they ignoring me? Did I do something? It's not because you're dramatic. It's because your brain equates silence with danger. Let me tell you about Ollie. Ollie once told me I always love people more than they love me. He'd give everything in a relationship, and the moment he felt someone pulling away, he'd shut down emotionally. Why? Because deep down, he believed, if they really knew me, they'd leave. So before they had the chance, he'd leave first. It's heartbreaking, but also common, because people who fear rejection often reject themselves first to avoid pain. At the core of hypersensitivity is often a fragile sense of self-worth. When your value depends on how others see you, every negative comment feels like a punch to the soul. You start believing that one person's opinion defines your worth. Psychologists call this the rejection schema. It's like a mental filter that makes your brain predict rejection before it even happens. That's why even small criticism feels unbearable. Your mind interprets it as proof that you're not enough. But here's the shift. Just because you feel rejected doesn't mean you are rejected. It's a learned emotional reflex, and once you see it, you can start to unlearn it. The moment you realize, this pain isn't proof that I'm broken, it's proof that I'm human, is the moment healing begins. We'll explore how to regain emotional balance, how to retrain your brain to stay calm under emotional triggers, and how to transform sensitivity into strength. Here's something powerful to remember. Being sensitive isn't the problem. Being controlled by your emotions is. When someone says something that stings, your brain stands at a crossroads. One path is reaction, the other is reflection. And that tiny moment between them can change everything. The ability to pause, just pause, is the most underrated superpower you can build. Next time someone criticizes you, instead of thinking, "I'm not enough," ask yourself, is this really about me or just their perspective? Try this exercise, cognitive reframing. When you feel rejected or hurt, step outside of your emotion for a second. Imagine you're watching yourself from a distance. Say, "I'm feeling hurt right now, but maybe this person is having a rough day." It doesn't change what happened, but it changes the meaning your brain gives it. And meaning is what fuels emotion. Remember, you don't need to suppress your feelings. You just need to learn how to hold them without letting them take over. Let's get real. There's no magic formula, but there are real, proven methods that can help you rewire your emotional patterns. 1. Practice mindfulness. Take a few minutes every day to sit, breathe, and observe your emotions. Don't judge them. Don't fix them. Just notice them. When you observe, you shift from being your feelings to having them, and that's freedom. 2. Write your emotions down. Journaling helps your brain process what it can't speak. When you write, "I feel ignored and that hurts," you translate chaos into clarity. 3. Build healthy boundaries. Sensitive people often struggle to say no. But remember, no isn't rejection, it's self-respect. Every time you set a boundary, you teach others how to treat you, and you teach yourself that your needs matter. 4. Rebuild your inner image. Remind yourself daily, my worth doesn't depend on anyone's approval. You are already enough, not when you're perfect, but when you're authentic. 5. Surround yourself with safe people. Your environment shapes your emotional world. If you're surrounded by judgment and criticism, your nervous system will always stay on alert. But being around kind, understanding people teaches your brain that emotional safety exists. That's how healing begins, not in isolation, but in connection. Let me tell you something I wish every sensitive soul knew. Your sensitivity is not your weakness. It's your compass. It means you feel deeply. You notice the unspoken. You care, sometimes more than you should, but that's what makes you human. Being sensitive doesn't mean you're fragile. It means your heart is finely tuned. You pick up frequencies others miss. But here's the key. Don't let your heart carry every frequency. Choose what you tune into. Not every silence is rejection. Not every frown means failure. Start seeing your emotions as signals, not verdicts. Each one is trying to tell you something, not about others, but about you. You're not too much. You're just more aware. And awareness, when guided with wisdom, becomes your greatest strength. So take that sensitivity and turn it into empathy, creativity, and depth. Because this world doesn't need colder hearts. It needs people who feel deeply and still choose kindness. And if that's you, then you're not broken. You're rare. You're real. And you're already enough.